Brother Wease is outside the studio. Where's the Wease man?
Oh, yes. I saw him.
Do you think Bargain guy was a good character?
What? I like Bargain. You like Brother Wease? Have you been on Brother Wease?
Is he,
show?
Oh, no.
An inductee?
Wease.
There he is.
Are you intimidated?
There he is.
He just got into the Radio Hall of Fame last night.
Good.
You know Patrice O'Neal?
Yeah, yes.
You know Colin Quinn?
Patricky.
He might not remember he was on once with me. You might have been with me. We were in Montreal.
Oh, okay, yeah, for the comedy festival.
Go ahead.
No, I don't remember.
Which one? You want to go?
Yeah, take
No. He said he's good.
Yeah.
We were just getting into some Obama stuff, I guess. I don't even know.
Obama, yeah, Bobo was trying to be Obama, and we couldn't figure it out.
Well, I went to dinner with Wease last night. It was very interesting. And you're sort of losing a little faith in the Obama man, right?
Hold on. The deal is, you see, of course, I've lost a lot of faith in Obama. I'm a bleeding heart liberal. I campaigned for Obama. I will fight for Obama. But what I told people before the election even happened, ugly conservatives, you know, teabaggers, and these 912 morons that might be in the room right now, I don't even know. But these kind of people, I will fight to the end, bro. Right. Even though Barack Obama isn't delivering for the liberals. The truth of the matter is Barack Obama isn't even a liberal. So we've lost faith.
Of course, he's
but
a
the reason
socialist.
I will fight against them is because the people that fight against Barack Obama, that think all these ridiculous things that he isn't, like a liberal and a socialist, those are words that the right uses to scare the idiots. Socialist. We should be so lucky to be socialists. Get lucky.
Why?
Yeah.
Why be lucky to be socialist, though?
Well, first of all, you don't have to worry about it because I'm pretty sure you got deep pockets.
Exactly, but let me tell you something. The American system of capitalism gave me the opportunity to do that. Why should I then have to dish out what I earned to help bring people up as Obama?
Well, first of all, that wouldn't be not a brotherly or a Jesus type thing to do.
No,
but second of all,
taking that out of it. But no, I already am, by the way, because I'm taxed up the fucking ass.
Whoa, I forgot where I was. I don't get to do fuck radio. Yeah, that's fun. You're not taxed as much as when there was at one time 90% tax on rich people. In a very, very not that long ago.
There was also black and white drinking fountains, so you know.
Exactly. You know,
called the good old days.
By the way, I like that. But you know who changed that about the black and white drinking fountains? Liberals, my brother. Liberals were on the right side of every single argument.
Were is a great word you use.
When did it change? When did it change?
Both parties have changed over the years, you know. But I think it changed somewhere in the 70s, 80s. Liberal became something more than just social causes. It became this intrusion into America's life of too much government, and it's left us. I don't know.
But when they became the language police, when they became the repressive language police that they always hated in the conservatives.
It was more humanity, and now labels take the humanity out of everything. Liberals aren't what they liberals are what people used to be, just like do the right thing. That's why people who supposedly voted for Obama this past thing, this is where I was upset about this whole thing, is that I want to see the white people that
dead?
No.
Oh, sorry, I just assumed.
No, I want to see the white people. My thing where, you know how it's easy to be gay now, meaning back in the day a gay guy, but like I'm looking at Brother Wease's hands, his tattoos. Those are tattoos you can tell before tattoos before a bitch had her little flower on her ankle and shit. So what I'm saying is, I would have loved to meet the white people or have a historical base of white people who were those helping the cause before it was cool to fucking be
helping the cause
to be a good white person. So what I'm saying is, before it was a human thing. Now being a liberal is easy, being a conservative is easy. You just have to follow the fucking rule of what it is. It's all corny. It's all fucking corny now. It's not legitimate shit.
I think when you were that white person that was marching with blacks in Selma,
you were doing some shit.
Then you were making a statement. Now it's like there's a bunch of followers and they can't even see who the leader is.
Some fucking 95-year-old dyke. Can you imagine talking to a 95-year-old dyke?
Who are you talking about?
Janet Reno.
I'm just saying a woman.
Like she went through some shit.
Right, who did something when it was dangerous.
I met her at the speakeasy, and we had to go to some city hotel to eat some box.
I just want to say something to Brother Anthony over there, because you see, this is the same crap I run into all the time. When he started switching over about how liberals are a different situation now with the parties. When I argue strictly liberal and conservative.
Okay.
Fuck the parties. I don't want to know about Democrat and Republican, because people bring up this crap about the Democrats were the right wingers a bunch of years ago, and it did switch over. I ain't talking about any of that. Liberals are the people that got everything that we have now that we think is good, even to Medicare, Social Security, blacks and whites being able to get married, women being able to vote. That's all liberal causes. And the people, let me just finish this. The people that fought against that crap are conservatives. Your Glenn Becks and these cocksuckers all getting people to run to Washington with Barack Obama painted up like Hitler and the Joker. Fucking assholes.
It was okay when Bush was painted like that, though?
Yeah, you know why? Because you're full of shit, Anthony. Bush was painted like that for 2 seconds. They didn't have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people in Washington spurned on by radio assholes, and that's where it all came from. 100%. These people didn't show up on their own. They were pushed. And sure, 2 people thought Bush was Hitler. Nowhere near. 2 people.
It was so accepted to badmouth George Bush. And believe me,
where'd you hear it? Where'd you hear it?
For 8 fucking years.
I'm asking you
everywhere.
Where?
CNN.
Fuck you.
MSNBC, NBC, CBS, everywhere but Fox, who is obviously biased. Right.
Obviously.
I know. I'm not
moves they
that
just
point.
pulled a couple days ago.
And
that's how they do.
Higher rated than any of those other.
Big fucking deal.
I'm just
do you want to compare their ratings to the 3 you call the liberal TV? ABC, CBS, NBC. Fox got a pimple, my brother.
Yeah, well,
that's because it's cable. It's killing MSNBC and it kills CNN.
Good for them. Because why? Because it's the truth.
Because they're talking about what people
bullshit. They're idiots.
You can't deny that the media. How about this black professor that just punched this white woman in the face?
Where is it? Because
of course you don't know about it. Because it's not in the papers. It's not been in the papers.
Well, you know about it somehow.
Yeah, it was on NewYorkPost.com. Covered it.
That's it. Why did the New York Post put it? Well, it's probably in the paper.
It's not in the paper. It might have been in for 1 day. No, it might have been in for 1 day, but it's not in. It was not in the Daily News. No, you cannot deny that the media is overwhelmingly liberal and overwhelmingly left, especially when dealing with race.
Okay, let me ask you this: if that's the truth, why do you think it is? You think there's a meeting somewhere?
I'll tell you where it is. No, it's an unspoken thing. It's an unspoken thing. It is white elitism. It is white elitism who don't want to deal with the fact that blacks are angry with white people because it somehow makes them feel guilty. It's white elitism. That's exactly what it is.
That's what the liberal media is?
Yes.
The liberal media is worried about the black folk are pissed off and we don't want to admit.
They're the same ones that write fucking thing. They're the same ones.
That's a big issue.
They're the same ones that are afraid to put a black criminal in a commercial. They're the same ones that are afraid to say the word black because they're afraid when they say it, the ugly way they feel about it is going to come out.
They're not afraid.
Of course they are.
It's not about fear. Why would anybody? Listen. Why would the people who run the world be afraid of what they are?
It's afraid of an acknowledgement because they don't want to deny what they are. People don't want to admit that they're fucking living a white privileged life. They don't want to acknowledge that, so they gloss it. They're not afraid of being hurt, but they're afraid of the honest admission. Like, yeah, black people are fucking angry at us. They want to just fucking gloss it over and pretend it doesn't exist.
So can I ask you why? What is the catalyst for the anger with Obama? Is it racial?
You mean on my side? I don't understand what you're saying.
No.
Why do I think teabaggers don't like Obama?
Why do you think teabaggers? Yes.
Well, I don't want to get into this fight in here, but there's no doubt in my heart that the people I saw at that 9/12, and by the way, if anybody went to my little website, Wease.com, there's a video of these fucking morons talking about the czars. Because they learned from Glenn Beck, who's a genius, that Barack Obama's got czars, and that's some scary socialist communist shit. These people were interviewed, bro. Interviewed at the 9/12 Teabagger Moronic March, and they were talking about these czars and stuff, and the person doing the interview and said, do you know what that is? And did you know Bush had czars? Maybe more. No, we didn't know that. They don't know half of this bullcrap. What they do know, sorry, my man, I do believe there's a ton of racism involved in here. Because when this I'll tell you something real quick. Give me a second. Where I work, like where you work here, bunch of radio stations, there's a conservative talk show host 2 doors down. I hate the motherfucker, you understand? This guy's on the radio every day spewing what I believe is hate. And when Barack Obama, wait, listen to this. When Barack Obama became president, in 3 weeks, this dude put out Fubo T-shirts and Fubo stickers. Fuck you, Barack Obama. Look, check this out.
But hold on. But the arrogance of the left To think, hold on. To think that anybody who goes with conservatives or went to those tea parties was led and pushed, whereas liberals. There's a real intellectual arrogance with liberals, and I want to know, where was the media attacks? These are people who just don't want to pay higher taxes. Where was the same mockery of the fucking Code Pink protesters, or gay rights protesters, or illegal immigrant protesters?
Why should I mock gay rights protesters? I don't get it. Why should I mock that?
Doesn't it bother you, though, that the media would choose...
I think it's a good thing.
How could you say it's not a bias when the media would choose to just openly mock these people who are protesting because they really just didn't want, and they're having town hall meetings. The media was mocking them.
Talk about town hall meetings. Let's talk.
Why was the media mocking them and not the other groups?
But because they're mockable. The motherfuckers at that 9/12 thing were pushing. I mean, you deny this fact. Look, this comes from my heart. I fight this because I bleed for people. Think whatever you want. This is not a team I signed up for because I think it's cool. We're the dickheads. We're the ones in my city. There's zero liberal talk. And as you can hear, Beck, Savage, Hannity, or all this, you understand? So people don't even get to hear the shit I'm saying to you now. And I don't do it on the radio, by the way. People are probably turning your show off.
I was going to say, thanks for doing it on ours.
I feel bad.
Why is there no liberal talkers? In all honesty, they tried Air America. They tried Air America. It's you know radio better than any of us. It's built on fucking making money. And if people aren't tuning in, if liberals are coming off as pompous and self-righteous and whiny, people don't want to listen to that.
Here's the deal. I hate to say this, but I told Hillary Clinton to her face when Air America was on with Al Franken. And by the way, I hate that Randy Rhodes broad. I mean, I'm a huge liberal looking for a champion. I can't stand the broad. This Lynn Samuels is probably a friend of your guys, is on the one liberal channel right now on Sirius, and she hates Barack Obama, so the liberals freak out. But when you say why we mock, is your question why do we mock the teabaggers? What's the distinct question?
How can you deny the bias of the media when you look at the way they handle those protests and when you look at the way they handle other protests, whether it's anything you want to name?
Let me quick ask you a question. How did the media handle the teabaggers that you're bitching about?
It was constantly confronting them. The reporters
calling them racist.
Yeah.
Also,
and it was
where did you see that? Where'd you see that?
CNN, every network, MSNBC.
What? Okay, those are two. What else? Well, see,
every place I saw.
No, you didn't see it on ABC, CBS, and NBC. Oh. That's the part of the liberal media that you guys talk about. That's bullshit. They report news, and if conservatives, let me finish. When conservatives don't like the news, the way that's why Fox exists.
That's not true. It's just not the truth.
Okay.
I'm watching this media blackout. I'm telling you, I'm watching there's a media blackout on the fact that a black Columbia University professor punched his white female coworker in the face while they were having an argument at a bar about race and white privilege.
By the way, I did read it on my BlackBerry when it happened, but I'm sure it'll be out.
It's not.
Fox will put it out, and everybody will have it.
Why Imus? Every network showed Imus every 30 seconds. When there was a noose, a black female professor at Columbia University found a noose, which is a symbol of black lynchings. It was front page news in the Daily News. Front page news for the Post. Fat Nick. They beat up these three
black... The Post? Front page news on the Post? The Post is a right-wing newspaper.
I understand it's owned by Murdoch, but I'm saying Fox is not even covering this one.
Why? That's a great quote. Why
because when it comes to race, they're all phony. The Drudge Report had it up, and it's gone. All of them.
What's going on?
They didn't kill Jesse Jackson. They showed Jesse Jackson's clip about Barack Obama. I want to rip his balls off. He's talking down to niggas. They didn't show him say he's talking down to niggas. They could have killed Jesse Jackson with that, and they didn't.
Well, where'd you see it?
You might have seen it one time. When you see something one time,
I saw CNN a few times.
It was not. Come on, they didn't play that the way they played Don Imus. You know that.
Don't be stepping up with honesty.
They didn't kill them with it the way they killed fucking Imus with his joke, because for some reason it is uncomfortable.
Can I say why though? It's when a white guy does something racial out in public, the I don't know, white meat or whatever you want to call it, they vilify them. Like they vilified Imus and they vilified Michael Richards
sure.
To say this is the lion shit. To say here he is. This is the motherfucker that's racist.
Yes.
Like I said,
yes.
We all believe racism to exist. I don't like talking about it no more because I can't find one unless some white guy fucks up and says nigga by mistake or Michael Richards goes on a rant. That's when I see a racist.
But I'm saying
they vilify him to go. there he is, it's not us.
Exactly what I'm saying. You're saying exactly what I am saying. It's a bunch of white people spanking certain white people. They're not dealing with race honestly because they're afraid of being exposed. Politically correct people are not afraid of being misconstrued. They're afraid of being exposed.
Which was a ploy to remove. Look, if white people can't have fun, nobody can. It was a ploy to stop the word nigger. It was a ploy to stop using the word nigger anywhere. If white people can't say nigger, nobody can say nigger. White people can if they want to. Black people can. But they can't.
White people are punished by other white people.
Take it one step further. That's where the N-word comes from. Why is it this? It's because white people can't say nigger.
Why are they not? They cover black crimes.
N-word.
They cover black.
I have to say fucking N-word.
They cover black crimes, but they don't show black on white crime as hate crime. They won't show the racial component.
They show black on anything crime.
They won't show the racial component. I don't know why they won't do it.
I don't want to be racial anymore about it, because black people, here's where we fuck up. Anytime somebody black fucks up, we have to defend. It's like they group us all in to where you go, well, Patrice, gee whiz, nigga shot somebody at a gas station. Black people are not allowed to go, fuck that motherfucker. White people you get to vilify your villains. We have to fucking defend Michael Vick somehow. When I love
you don't have to defend him. That's part of.
I know I don't. You know what I'm saying.
That's part of a black.
You know what I'm saying. I don't have to. But that's the fucking rule.
Right. Like the thing about the black. Can you imagine if a white Columbia professor had punched his black female coworker in the face during a racial argument?
I can't deny any of that. But why we got to be stuck up all on just that?
Because I'm talking about the liberal bias of the media, and you're saying it doesn't exist.
You said Fox isn't even doing it.
When it comes to that, nobody touches it.
Well, maybe it's not liberal and conservative.
That is a very, very liberal stance that even Fox won't go near. They had it on drugs, and they don't touch it. What's that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Why is it?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
All I know is the nigga president had to have a fucking beer with a cop because he said he was an asshole.
But that's, by the way, the second black intellectual in a major institution to have a racial incident.
Well, yeah, he had it. Well, he came out and called the guy an idiot, the cop, right away. But he says let's not rush to judgment over the fucking terrorist that shot up
because he gets pressed into having his rule. But he should have told that cop, "Eat my ass. You are an idiot." Because he's the president. Well, that's some of the perks of being the president.
Maybe he should have
say, "Suck my dick."
Maybe he should have shut his mouth over that instead of his asshole buddy fucking crying to. I'm sure he was on his fucking phone. Hey, Barack, I got a cop in my house. He's fucking with me. You know, Barack should have kept his fucking mouth shut until the facts came out.
But why? Because I say that even at Fox, they have the same racial discomfort that they do, and the liberal media outlets have become. The problem I have with liberals is they've become the same thought police that they always hated the conservatives for. They've become the same.
When were the conservatives the thought police? So
when they were fucking
going to understand it.
When they were going after Lenny Bruce in the 50s for criticizing the Catholic Church.
That's conservative.
When they were going after a lot of people for criticizing the church or for criticizing the country, you're considered a communist. I mean, for years and years, the conservatives have been horrible. But you're saying, when did it turn against liberals? And I think when they became the people they hated, which was through the 70s and up into the 80s and now.
Well, I believe that I'm a fucking sick-ass, bleeding-heart liberal, and it's got nothing to do with politics per se, Democrats and Republicans, and I'm never going to be any different. And when I watch Fox or listen to Glenn Beck, if I did it with you, I could point out every hateful fucking lie.
But why is
That's
it
all
hateful?
I'm telling you.
Why is it not hateful when Oberman's doing it?
I'm going to tell you why. Because it seems to me, and I don't want this argument will go on forever, and I'm fucking your show to death. People hate this shit. I'm telling you, people hate this shit. But listen, why is it hateful? Because it seems that, like, for instance, when Tiller was shot, O'Reilly called Tiller the killer. He's the abortion doctor.
Right.
And, the guy got murdered. And, there's a chance that some friggin' hillbilly cocksucker was watching O'Reilly every night and goes, I'm going to take one for the team. And they went and murdered, went and murdered the friggin' abortion doctor that was working under the law of your country,
That's
right?
exactly what I'm saying right
so
there.
I'll tell you that's why it's hate, bro. That's why.
But it's the
leads
thinking,
to murder.
It's the thinking. Maybe we made each other's point then, because maybe you're saying that was hate, but what I'm saying is that's the thinking for other people's stuff that makes liberals so arrogant.
I don't get
it is the thinking. I'll tell you what. Maybe some cocksucker will watch O'Reilly do that and go and kill him. Whereas a liberal will say, I'm intelligent enough to watch O'Reilly and make the distinction, but the average dumb American isn't. That's the average.
But that's where the news fucks up now, because the news is supposed to be telling us something and then back off. They're supposed to say,
right.
3,000 people got shot in Iraq, and then back off. They go, 3,000 people got shot. Oh, shit. Like somebody goes, has an opinion about the news.
They editorialize, yes.
The news it doesn't exist anymore where they just go, even these cornball news shows like in the morning, there's like a girl going, oh my goodness, do you think that's kind of fucking shitty, don't you think?
I got to address something that we said about hate speech and people, maybe some hillbilly being influenced or something like that. Let's take a bleeding heart liberal that looks at what you call the teabaggers and those protests that were protesting higher taxes.
If you want to say that.
Well, I do want to say that.
It's bullshit. It's complete fucking bullshit.
Well, okay, and it's bullshit. And now maybe somebody's being labeled as a racist when they're not a racist because of what liberals are saying about them. You're fucking putting labels on people because it's easier than accepting the fact that maybe they're just mad at the way the government is running.
Okay, can I answer?
I am tired of paying the bill for every motherfucker in this country.
But where the fuck were these assholes when George Bush was the president? I didn't see no goddamn teabaggers flooding goddamn Washington D.C. with pictures of what you said.
There were fucking
shit.
A lot of anti-war protests were going on when George Bush showed up. Oh, no, I'm not saying they're bad. Look, hey, I'm not saying it's bad, but they were there. Whenever George Bush showed up at the UN, there were fucking the police had to come out and drove to keep the protesters away from him.
Can I comment, please?
Sure.
Those fucking protests are so different from that teabagger.
How is it different?
I'm going to tell you.
Americans expressing
I will tell you.
their disenchantment with the government. But go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why they're so different. Because those liberals, which, by the way, are far left liberals, those liberals that show up at the UN and stuff, don't have some radio and TV station rallying them up to go. They do it.
Sorry.
Wait, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. They are sincere and maybe wrong, but they show up on their own. But when you got a fucking guy lying about czars and scaring people with socialism, and bro, let me tell you something. I know you guys are intelligent, but that socialism shit is just a knee-jerk word for people to get scared, and there's no truth to it whatsoever. Wait, let me finish. And you can go to any, if you guys live in New York, go to some socialist professor somewhere, talk to Bernie Sanders. You might know who he is. Bernie Sanders is a senator who's a socialist, a Democratic socialist senator. He will tell you this. All real socialists will tell you this guy isn't anywhere near a socialist, Barack Obama.
But you just said that the anti-war protesters showed up because it's such a subtle thing. People don't realize they're doing it because they wanted to. It was a reaction they wanted to.
Without anybody at all.
And you're saying
only liberals can have grassroots.
And that the TV was. It's amazing.
Only liberals are allowed to have grassroots.
That's so cocky because you're just saying it, and it's bullshit.
Just because more people
I'm not a liberal. I'm not led by
just because there's more successful conservative radio and television shows doesn't mean that conservatives can't show up under their own accord. It just so happens, coincidentally, there's more conservative shows. But every time anytime liberals get together, it's grassroots. Anytime conservatives get together, it's fucking clan meeting.
I'll tell you what, Anthony. If you want to work on something called if you want to talk about something called evidence. Let's work on evidence. You tell me where these radio or TV shows were that sent people to protest wars and stuff, and I'll show you fucking all kinds of people that sent people to be teabaggers in Washington. Come on, it's ridiculous.
You don't think?
And I'll tell you one last thing.
It's all shitty divisive.
How did they show up? They had to know
that they're pissed off.
Why didn't they show up then when Bush was president?
How did the anti-war people get together?
They just thought of it and just decided to go. That was a reaction. That was grassroots.
But they read each other's mind for the place
none of it's real. None of this shit's real. It's not real. It's all bullshit. It's all against the people. This argument or this conversation, liberal, up there, they don't call these motherfuckers Barack. They call him Barry. They don't give a fuck.
Barack Hussein Obama.
He owes favors. He's the fucking. See, this is the thing about the president. If the president can come in in 4 years. Each 4 years, you change the entire infrastructure. Where you come in and go, you know what? War's over, motherfucker. No Afghanistan, no Iraq. Let's just come on. The president is nothing. I don't even understand why he's the figurehead in this. He can't stop anything.
You're right.
The next guy's going to just do the next thing. It's horse shit.
I agree with you on that.
The liberals have become arrogant, and thought policing, and that's what drives me crazier about anything their ideology, any of their war stances. We've dealt with it as entertainers.
It's amazing.
I watch what Imus got fired for. I watch what black performers don't get fired for. And that's not black people's fault. That's fucking white people who are just targeting other white people because, like, you hit the fucking nail on the head. We're going, that's the one. That's the naughty one, not me. It's all about keeping the focus on the white guilt. I was upset that
black performers didn't immediately stand up for fucking Imus. Immediately.
That's the thought policing shit. By the way, Media Matters. That clip was a week old. They were the ones who targeted that. They didn't target Al Roker for doing an epilepsy joke. For doing an epilepsy joke. You understand? Well, he blogged very heavily about Imus getting fired.
He's a militant.
He was very, very vocal about Imus being fired. He was very vocal about Imus being fired.
He's the whitest black guy in town. He's a wonderful fellow.
Exactly. He's not a threat. Of course. But do you understand what I mean? They target the speech they don't agree with. They don't target other speech that they do agree with. They don't target people who ideologically they agree with.
So basically what you're doing is you call people dumb because at the end of the day, I can go, hey, everybody, get together and let's do this. And you're allowed to go no.
Right.
But how can you get mad at Glenn Beck if he can get 50,000 people to go do dumb shit? And let's say Janine Garofalo, if she wants to get 50,000 people to go do dumb shit, it's the 50,000 people's fault.
Obama won.
They're fucking stupid for doing what the fuck they're told to do.
Hold on, all this leading the idiots, all the conservative radio in the world did not prevent Barack Obama from winning the election.
Well, what do you think about that? I'm sure you got an idea. I'll bet you got an idea.
Electronic voting machine.
I'll tell you what it is. More Americans voted for him than McCain. That's what it was. People wanted to change.
Allegedly.
I wanted Obama to win. I wanted the younger guy. No, of course not. I just sit here and talk. I wanted.
But all of a sudden, there's a Republican governor in what's been a Democratic state forever.
It will happen. It will happen. Yes.
White people got fed up.
Yes, the tax and spend.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, fellas. Jesus Christ. You want to look back through history? Whenever a new administration comes in, a whole bunch of states flip over. It happens all the time.
I'm not complaining about that.
And the right-wing talkers are all railing about that when they were looking for the Hoffman dude to win in New York 23, and all of a sudden that doesn't mean anything. Where the Democrat, they haven't had a Democrat.
Such a
scam. There you go. There you go.
Come on. The Democrats or liberals would have been all over that if it was the other way around. That fucking Republican candidate was a Democrat. She was a fucking Democrat.
Well, she was a Republican.
And she got thrown out. Some Republican went along with everything Barack said.
Well, listen, there are liberal Republicans, believe it or not, and right and far right.
Liberal Republican. Yeah, she wasn't a moderate. She was.
Well, how'd she get to be a Republican all that time?
Who the fuck knows? It's up there in goddamn cow country. But when the conservatives stepped in. He had fucking his votes were diluted by this woman. She wound up getting
the woman bailed out. What
and the percentage of votes she got after she bailed out would have put the conservative guy over the top.
See, baby, you talk about arguing the same way Brother Norton's going. Oh, when the liberals went out and protested the war, they just did it on their own grassroots, sarcastic. And now you're doing the same exact.
Because it's the arrogance of the left that I'm talking about. We've got the issue,
bro.
It's the arrogant thought policing of the left. I'm telling you. You're asking about liberals. I don't hate liberal ideology. It's something I don't agree with. It's the arrogance, I know what's better for you than you do. I understand the unwashed masses shit that liberals have become, which makes me sick to my stomach, because they're doing the same thing they hated the conservatives for. I dealt with them. I know it when we would do Tough Crowd. The things you could make fun of, the things you couldn't make fun of. If it was a sacred cow of the right, it was okay. You want to shit on Catholicism? Good. And you should be able to. But fucking like Larry David, that little piss drop on the thing of Christ. I would love him to have done that with Muhammad. Never gonna happen. Fucking the phony New York Times wouldn't show that.
Why would he do it to Muhammad? It ain't a good bit. You know, everyone would be cheering. All the conservatives would be pumping their head.
You understand?
It's not a good bit.
Why isn't it a good bit?
Well, the fucking Muhammad.
Why wouldn't the New York Times?
First of all, I don't know what a picture of Muhammad looks like.
Exactly.
Come on, you know it ain't a good bit.
Why wouldn't the New York Times show that picture that the Danish cartoonist did? Why wouldn't they show that, but they still showed Piss Christ? Why wouldn't any of the New York papers show that? The media completely left it alone.
Why?
They're afraid because they're afraid of Islam. They're afraid of the violence in Islam, and they won't say it. South Park, one of the only edits they ever did was when they wanted to portray Muhammad, and they said absolutely not. They very rarely will.
They had that.
No, they didn't do it. And they came out and they gave this statement because of recent world events. They won't even name Islam.
So they're more afraid of Islam than they are of right-wing Christians.
There you go.
They're afraid by far. Of course they are. Of course. Terrified. The way they shit all over Christianity, they're much more afraid of Islam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Much more afraid. Right-wing Christians,
though.
Every newspaper that would never print that Danish cartoon.
But who's the holding the strings that says that they're not allowed to do that?
Good question.
I don't think the editor gives a fuck. Who's
the editor does care.
Wait, no, who's the higher that's saying that's
wrong? We
wrong?
as a society, our whole
as a group,
our whole fucking way of life is afraid of offending Islam.
Of a guy running in with a bomb.
More so than offending Christianity or any other religion.
Christianity is safe to make fun of compared to the other, especially compared to Islam.
The retribution is fucking tragic.
Well, you guys are the fucking poster childs for you don't fuck with Christianity.
Yeah, well, we didn't say
that's not true at all. We shit all over Islam. We shit all over Christianity. We shit all over.
No, but I'm saying no. You're not saying you.
We didn't say it's absolute.
Not saying you're hypocrites. I'm saying that you lost your jobs because Christians band together and got you fucking fired.
No, we didn't. We lost our jobs because the company that sanctioned the contest fucking backed out.
Because what?
Bill Donahue.
Pressure from...
Absolutely. I don't fault Bill Donahue. I don't fault Al Sharpton either. I don't fault Sharpton and Jesse Jackson for getting Imus fired. I fault fucking Les Moonves for buckling when he didn't have to. I fault the fucking companies for buckling because they think it's Selma in 1960.
But who is
and it's
buckling?
Going to be a boycott that's going to hurt.
It's ultimately... this is what I'm trying to get back to, is human. All these labels, it's about humans being liars. It's about lying. If people didn't lie, then we wouldn't be pointing our fingers at this one or that one. The New York Times guy is going by the fact that we all are liars right now. Anthony, to me, look, and fucking
Colin?
Yeah, Colin. Somebody, Colin's back here yawning. Poor Colin.
Me and Colin are playing hangman.
Anthony and Colin what, bro?
Colin's thinking he left his Bengay at home. He's getting tired. I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm giving Colin you credit because at least we can have racial conversations. Everybody thinks just because you talk race that you're racist.
I know.
People could just be racial and get it out just so we're not as led around by these discussions about who's doing what and who's afraid. Why the fuck would it's the Rush Limbaugh thing? He can't buy a fucking football team. The motherfucker that owns the Pittsburgh Steelers never owned a slave, nigga. So Rush Limbaugh is the racist, but these old white dudes that own football teams aren't. Fucking the Dallas Cowboy motherfucker, that Texas oil baron, think he loves black people. Like, I'm just saying,
Mark Shaw was able to own a fucking baseball team.
Exactly. Like, so that's what I don't want to. I don't want to be a fucking slave to the fact that you're going to tell me who the villains are and this and that. Yeah, let's have real conversations.
We're having one right now.
Fucking Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh's the villain. I'm not defending him, but you're going to tell me these other what? Rush Limbaugh's going to get in the NFL and go, I'm going to try to win a game with all white players. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's as racist as anybody else who I can't prove it.
It's true.
Fuck out of here, man.
It's true. White people are stereotyping black people and they're racist. Maybe you'd like to look on Maury right now.
5 babies DNA test.
Let me just get one.
Can I get finish my thought on there? The reason is people are afraid of Islam. I would be too. I'm not saying that they're dumb to be afraid of Islam. What bothers me is the fucking phony attacks on other religions, and they won't come out and say, we won't show that cartoon because we're afraid of a suicide bomber coming in, which is the reality. And I wouldn't fault them for that. I'm not saying I'm ballsy, but there were people that quit. I think it was the New York Press or the Village Voice because they wouldn't show that cartoon.
Village Voice?
It was one of the Voice people, the reporters were quitting because the paper fucking copped out. They would not address Islam honestly. And they won't just say, we're afraid of them because they react really violently. They attack right-wing Christianity all the time, and they should.
But let me just say one last thing about this liberal conservative shit. And I know I ain't sinking crap in with you dudes. Here's the deal, bro. You know, since Barack Obama has been the president, and before in history, there are radio stations. I'll just use Rush Limbaugh as for instance. Rush Limbaugh has a show. He did it with Bill Clinton. That's how he became famous, Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh has 3 hours a day, every single day, and his whole mission is to bring down Barack Obama. That's what the show is, 100%. I get his emails every day, Jim. I'll get his emails every single day. I'll show them to you.
I thought they had a fairness doctrine thing.
No,
that was the liberals crying because people don't want liberal radio, so they were like, well, if they get it, we should have it. They don't want the fairness doctrine anywhere else. They don't want it in sports. They don't want it anywhere else, but they want it with talk radio where people are expressing opinions because people didn't want to hire liberal talkers. So like, well, how can we get in there? Oh, let's make it a fucking like the government mandated thing. It was bullshit.
By the way, the fairness doctrine was in existence once. Then it was taken away.
It should be.
When I was on the radio, if you had a dude on, you had to have the other dude on. If you talked about one side, you had to talk about the other side, which in all honesty will make for a smarter populace. But in the meantime, you got a bunch of radio shows that dedicate their shows to bringing down your president. That never ever happened in the day, ever.
They're all getting, the thing is this, you know the fairness doctrine. Come on.
Forget the fairness doctrine.
Like that, it's all based on rating.
Rush probably
wanted Obama, and this is how dumb the Democrats are.
I hear you.
This is how dumb they are. Obama addressed Hannity, and he addressed fucking Rush by name, like they're the Republican Party. They're just talkers. He was harsher with Rush Limbaugh than he was with Ahmadinejad, or fucking anything that's going on in the Middle East. He had harder words for Rush Limbaugh.
That's because some people believe that diplomacy might be a good thing. I know you guys don't on the right. You'd rather bomb every Muslim off the planet.
Not true at all. Bullshit. Not true at all. I'm all for diplomacy.
Then what's wrong with diplomacy?
Nothing, but I'm saying Obama reached his hand out to a guy who said that he wants Israel wiped off the face of the map, and Israel, if we don't do something, is going to attack Iran.
I will say something about the Muslim community in this country. There's some silent motherfuckers. See, here's the thing about other groups. Black people every group has the other group in it that will say, we're not associated with that motherfucker.
Yes.
Now,
I got bad
here's the thing. Wait a minute. Here's the thing. In England, it's harder to be that racist in England against Muslims because they live with the community like fucking Puerto Ricans live with people in New York.
Not in my fucking
Here, fucking Muslims, if Muslims start running around bombing malls and doing all that goofy shit they do in England and Israel, bad things are going to happen to all Muslims. Yeah. So if they can differentiate between the ones that we go, them, which is what niggas had to do and Asians had to do, where if black people start flying planes and the shit, most likely it'll be those black people not, here we go with this shit here.
But mum's the word.
Because Islam is very peaceful. It's a very peaceful fucking religion.
Right, Patrice, wait. I just want to tell you something because this is what happens on the radio. Patrice just said you don't see the Muslim coming out speaking against, correct? And you just say that?
Well, in terms of saying, but on the streets too, Brother Wease, on the streets, if you ask a Muslim, what do they think? They go, well, you know, it's a thing that we have to do what we, you know.
That guy just
never like fuck him. Never like fuck that dude for blowing up shit.
Bro,
ever.
Listen, this is what I want to say. Just yesterday on MSNBC, they had a Muslim broad, who's some professor at some big school here in this country, that was up screaming against the Muslims. And she's a deep Muslim studier and knows the religion and the whole deal. And she wants more people to come out. But she was up there for 15 minutes as a Muslim, denouncing the Muslims, the violent Muslims, and the extremists, Muslim extremists. Because a lot of people in this country, and I'm not going to say hillbilly,
but look at the point. Look at the point you're making, though.
Muslims
you
are
just
Muslims.
made his point.
You're just
she
making
wants more people to come out.
The point is,
but he didn't think she existed.
No,
but of course, but
it was on the exception to the rule show.
Yes. Where's just some dude? If you talk to a cab driver, you know you like to talk to people. People like to talk, and it's like you talk to a cab driver and you go, "Hey, man, what's going on over here?" You'll go, all right. They'll never go. You talk to 20 Muslims or 20 dudes you think are Muslims and ask about this situation and see if they go, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. The Israel, fucking Palestine shit's all goofy. The fucking India versus Pakistan is goofy. You won't hear those people say that shit's goofy. They won't do it. So that's why they put themselves in a spot to go, all of you. If Asians went, this is the problem with Muslims. They haven't went through the shit yet. This is their time to go through the shit like Asians did. Asians have earned their place to go suck my balls because they've been put in fucking concentration camps during World War II. They scooped them up, threw them into some fucking camp because they're fucking Chinese.
Yeah, that was some bad shit.
They went
some wrong
through
stuff.
it. the Muslims haven't gone through the shit that makes the ones go, hey, I live here and I love it. Them motherfuckers that do dumb shit, fuck them. So that we won't look at them all the same. Because if Asian people blew up a mall, you would not look at all Asians like they blow malls up because they earn their spot. Muslims haven't earned their fucking
Asians
due
also
yet.
never attacked us from within as civilians. Asians also, no other group, it's the first time we're dealing with this, whereas, and this is why the internment camps were so wrong in World War II, it is because the Islam has purposefully used the way we live and attacked us as civilians. So it's not like they came in here as a paramilitary group, they were just civilians. So they trained us to look at all civilians suspiciously, and then we look at civilians suspiciously and we're accused of being racist. There's no way to win that.
Which
so
is
you're
what,
either sitting ducks or you're smart and your profile.
Which is what those shitty movies that have a guy give a speech in them. Like, you Americans are so stupid. Because they know the deal.
Citizen?
It's this goofy shit.
You have to arrest me.
Muslims have to go through that shit. They have to
make me laugh.
They have
You
to
have
turn
your
in this
laws.
pressure. They have to deal with the pressure.
I want Wease, yes.
I just want to tell you this. The right wing always brings up the fact that Fox is the man and they got the ratings, and like somehow that makes it the truth. But just let me remind you, the Transformers was the #1 movie.
I'm not saying that.
Shit.
No, Wease, I'm not saying
Remember that shit. It's important.
But the Transformers isn't a day-in, day-out event. You know ratings run the world when it comes to stations and making money. And I'm saying that for some reason, those guys get numbers. I mean, they killed... Keith Olbermann's on the air because he gets ratings. I mean, he doesn't do as well as Hannity, but he gets fucking ratings.
I got to say something here about that, what you just said. I'm not saying it makes it the truth. I'm not saying it makes it
Well, that's
good.
what I feel like you're saying.
No. They have the ratings, but what it does is it gives the left an excuse to say things like, oh, the people that showed up weren't angry about taxes. They were racist, baited by the station. They were baited by the stations that have a huge viewership and huge listenership. Instead of just going, you know something? I'm tired of paying taxes, and there is a demonstration about it, and I feel passionate enough to go and represent this cause.
But it's suspect, my brother, because the motherfuckers, if you actually believe in your goddamn heart that why these people weren't there during the Bush regime, but they showed up after Glenn Beck and Fox News. But God damn it, the evidence. When did their tax change? Nothing fucking changed. Both.
Let me tell you something.
You're telling me your life has changed.
I'm telling you, my taxes have gone up already.
I must not have noticed.
They have
Hannity's ratings better since Combs left?
Hannity's fucking, him and O'Reilly destroy everybody.
You know what it is? And this is something that maybe not directly because of Obama, but Obama's saying people that make more than $250,000 a year. Wait. No, not there yet. Hold it. Not there yet. But when you get Obama, the president, the one that's changing things, everyone's looking up to, saying, we want to tax people that make $250,000 a year or more. Then lower government, use his example, like they did in my fucking county, and tax the shit out of me.
So now
their whole thing is by Democrats that are running the fucking county. Oh, although Swazi, oops, he might be out now. He was tiptoeing his way, going la-di-di, I think I'm winning, and now recount.
By the way, Anthony, all of this is the bigger thing.
But it was a catchphrase of everyone going $250,000 or more. Now it's everyone's hands on the
You're directing your anger at the wrong thing, because at the end. Wait a minute. At the end of the day, we're all, no matter how much money we got, we're all paying back a loan that the government takes out from a fucking bank. This is not about this is about people. It's not about fucking your county.
I want to simplify it.
They need your money to pay back fucking Chinese people.
I want to simplify
Anthony's pissed because they just taxed him on his new Messerschmitt.
I want to keep it simple. I make X amount of money. I want to keep X amount of that money. And it's getting less and less and less.
It's not your money.
Fuck you.
It don't belong to you.
I'm sitting my ass in this chair every fucking day.
I know,
and
fuck
I pay
you.
my fucking bid on taxes.
I know.
And I always have. And the motherfuckers, it's never enough.
I know it's fuck you.
Never enough.
But it's not ever enough.
How much, Wease? How much do you want to pay in tax?
Well,
how much do you want to
how much is enough?
Where will you reach a point where you go, fuck these guys?
Here's the unfortunate truth. Never. Because I think you're full of shit.
Why?
I think you're a Republican, elitist, rich guy. Let me give you a minute. Wait, let me tell you.
All right. I want to retort.
Yeah, I'm sure this is your joint. I have friends where I live really rich. Right? This is my life experience. I have some really fucking rich friends. obviously all Republicans, and they're bitching and they're moaning about all this crap, which hasn't even touched them. These people got all the crap that Colin was just making jokes on you. I'm not bullshitting you, planes. These motherfuckers that are worried about people getting health care or any kind of handout, they're going to have one less Ferrari. I ain't bullshitting you.
You don't think
so wait a minute.
No, they've already given their Ferrari. Now they want both of their fucking Ferrari. No, they're the ones taxed up the ass.
Okay, here's bottom line. Let me just finish.
I think unemployment's at 10%.
Bottom line that I know for
collateral.
Bottom line that I know for sure. All my rich friends are going to stay rich and die rich. But not as rich, maybe. Come on, man. We just pass through life. I believe Hillary.
I understand.
I believe it takes a village. And I'm not bullshitting you. I saw that Oprah show where it went around the world. I'm sure you guys don't look at that. You think you'll grow a vagina or something. But I watched that Oprah show because I like it. And she had these people from all over the world, and I forgot which country, Norway or something. 50%. These people were paying 50%, and they got everything. They had everything. This healthcare thing.
Because they're all white.
That's right. That's why. Can you imagine, though, honestly, if we had health care, and don't start with the anecdotes about Canada, if you had that health care and you didn't have to take it out of your money from work, or if some guy with a business didn't have to pay half of every cat that worked there, and you didn't have to worry about getting sick. I mean, this is all a good life. It's good.
Sounds good.
It is good.
As more hands go into my pocket.
Big fuck your pocket.
You know what?
Someone's got to have a pocket.
One day they're going to go into your fucking bank account and take what they need.
When did America,
as opposed to fucking this pretend
when
tax
did America
shit.
become a place that guarantees people
life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness?
Yes, pursuit. Chase that motherfucker.
Well,
and if you catch it, best of luck to you.
Let me ask you this one question. Why is this country, the one that brags about being the best country in the world, the only industrialized country that doesn't take care of their people?
Free unemployment, competition, and incentive.
So we got people dying.
Wait, listen to me.
But he's talking, Wease is talking humanity, Anthony.
I pay. You're making it sound like I'm sitting there with gold doubloons going, Mwah.
You want to?
I pay up the
And listen, Monopoly man.
But the ass, and they want more.
But we already do have health care. We have the best health care in the world.
We have that's why we're ranked. That's why we're ranked in the 30s. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, when everybody needs a surgery for something, they go to fucking Guam. Well, actually, Guam. They go to fucking Africa.
Evidence. Can we do evidence? Right now, there's something, and it was in the Parade magazine, of all things. They insert in the Sunday paper.
That thing's too edgy.
Probably they have things called surgical vacations. But, that's what, I don't want to call you guys
people
bad.
are going to Mexico and getting surgery.
People are going to a lot of places and getting surgery.
Yeah, and
but Brazil is my favorite place where people go.
Happens.
But this is what kills me.
Certain types of surgery, though, down there.
Well, they get a vagina. But listen, people are traveling to many places to get operations. But here's what kills me. You motherfuckers going, we got the best health care. We don't have the best health care. We might have the best doctors and technology.
Yes.
Health care, the word care means someone's getting taken care of.
Nowhere else.
Come on.
Where else in the world?
Come on.
And don't bring up one of these little shit countries that have no people like Sweden. Big country.
Well, that's a problem.
40 people in the whole fucking country.
40 people.
One thing I like about Wease is he argues about like this. He's like talking political, intellectual. He's like, you motherfuckers. But listen to me.
Because he doesn't get the curse in his
Right.
What other country can you walk into the emergency room and get everything taken care of?
Tons of them.
No.
Yes.
Except little, don't mention
What,
Sweden.
Canada's that little? Space-wise, they're pretty big.
Even the most liberal... The most liberal Canadians I know say you're making the mistake of your life.
Fuck you, Colin. That is anecdotal bullshit.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
We all know it's
How much bullshit?
Colin, you're bullshit.
Like Jimmy's being sarcastic. I see
You
the
waited all
face.
this time to just say some fucking dumb shit, Colin.
Exactly.
Why don't you shut the fuck up, man?
The dollar is falling. Shut up. I swear to God, it's not anecdotal. It's a true. It's true
anecdotal.
facts.
It's not true facts. Let's make some phone calls. I do it all. Let's call
make some
Canada.
phone calls right now.
Let's call Canada.
Let's call Canada.
And get a guy on the phone random. And what happens if he says to you, by the way, I got a comic who was just on my show, American kid that married a Canadian broad. They're up in Edmonton.
Fantastic.
Anecdotal. They had a baby. She had a kid. It didn't cost them a guy. What are you talking about?
When I said anecdotal, it was
because I'm
bullshit.
responding to yours.
Oh, but I'm saying
You're
how come?
because you just said everybody in Canada says it sucks. Everybody
I don't mean everybody. You said everybody.
Okay, hold on. Unfortunately for me, I broadcast from across the water from Canada. I actually have Canadian listeners.
Yeah.
These people call up all the time saying, I cannot believe what you people in your country are doing. And people don't want health care. I mean,
You know something? If it could be done without more fucking mitts in my wallet,
what if it could be done?
God bless, because I'm done fucking paying for everybody.
Wait, what if it could be done with putting mitts in your pocket?
No.
So you must not like Jesus.
No, it's
I love my Jesus.
It's nothing to do with
Jesus
religion.
wants people to have health care.
Here's what it is. America. A place on this great globe of ours that you come to or are born in, and you have the opportunity to, through luck, through wealth, through skill.
At least he came up with luck.
No, it's true. But it's true. There's a little bit of everything involved. That's what makes this a great country.
And there's no difference between that and about 50 other countries, by the way.
To get as high up as you want, there is no obligation to the person that succeeded to take care of or bring up anyone beneath them.
So let me ask you this.
Is it righteous? Is it nice? Of course it fucking is. Is it mandatory? No.
Not here. But wait a minute.
No.
But let's say you were a guy in Toronto. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
One of the great
Lovely
cities
city.
in the world. Great big city. And you have all those exact opportunities that you just mentioned. Plus, they take care of everybody. A little better. Same exact every opportunity that you just mentioned, you can have in Toronto.
Take care of the mismanagement for the money.
Anthony, what if everybody
And Canadian pussy smells terrible, to be very honest with you. I've had a few that are fucking horrendous.
Towards whatever, like 50% or whatever the percentage they have, they pay towards healthcare. Because look, I'm both sides. I think our healthcare system, it's not bad. It's just. It's just shit. It's just
85% of people are insured.
Wait a minute, no. On a human level,
15% not bad.
Yeah,
That's a lot of motherfuckers.
85% of the people in this country are insured.
Yes. Why are we fucking complaining? Exactly.
That's the 15% that's not insured.
15%. Always.
Wait.
Always is for 15%.
Wait.
By the way.
Wait. You might want to talk to some of the cocksuckers that were insured, that are broke now, with insurance. Don't line up the phones. But the kids that work for me that just had babies, for instance, with insurance that they pay dearly for, had to pay thousands. And they're not
because they lost their jobs?
No. They're
What happened to
working.
their...
Don't fucking ask me. I'll call them. They keep telling me this. I don't understand it my own self. But what about the people with insurance?
You're just being led blindly by them.
I think so, bro. What about the people with insurance that are still going? What about the people denied surgeries with insurance? If you deny the fact that the insurance companies have a person with a job, their whole job is to deny you an operation, then you're not being truthful.
I understand that.
Well, isn't that, Patrice, how ugly?
That's an ugly thing. It's an ugly.
It's ugly, but
here's the human part of it. This is what fucks me up. We don't talk. The human part is there's somebody with a job to tell you that you're gonna die.
There you go.
And if people decided that I'm not gonna take a job where I'm just gonna allow people to die because I was told to allow people to die. It's my thing about I'm sorry, Colin. It's the thing about the whole thing of Hitler and I know I keep saying this, but it's like, who do you hate more? Hitler for going, I hate Jews, I'm gonna kill them, or a bunch of motherfuckers who just go do it because they told them to? Who the fuck is wrong?
Hey.
I take a job to say, Patrice, you gotta pay insurance for a year, but you have diabetes. Wait a minute, you got diabetes. You got to pay for a year, $400 a month for a year before we ever take care of your diadiabetes.
Well, if you
pre-existing condition, I'll be dead before I fucking get help.
That doesn't sound good. It doesn't, and neither does you go out and crash your car 50 times. Your premiums are going to be a little high on your car insurance.
What does one? Wait, that's a stupid.
Thank you. I couldn't get out of my throat fast enough.
What kind of comparison was that?
I'm doing a cold-blooded study on insurance, which is the higher the risk, the more you're going to pay. It's risk assessment.
But that's not a nice country.
That's true.
No, that's not a nice country.
It's true. It's not a nice country.
I want to take care of my brothers and sisters.
Well, you're
Fuck
a good
me.
man. You're a good man, and you know something? 90% tax your ass, and 30% tax mine.
I'm in.
Because I'm an asshole.
I'm in.
And maybe in the next world, you'll get a better place than I will.
I don't even believe there is a next world.
Are you an atheist, Anthony?
I am.
Nah, I know that there's probably something, but I don't fucking know.
Anthony, that's agnostic. Agnostic.
I'm just like,
he don't believe in nothing.
By the way,
in nothing.
No, bro, I just told you didn't hear my story. I'm a Jehovah's Witness now. Legit.
Is that it?
Legit.
Really?
Yeah.
No Christmas?
No medication.
Christmas.
They say there's only
no,
100,000 people are going to make it to heaven, right?
Yeah, but I'm number 100,000.
Right. You just right under the wire.
I got in late.
And they don't vote.
I ain't voting no more.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote.
Wait, you don't vote anymore?
I'm a witness.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote.
They didn't tell me that yet.
This ain't real.
Bro, this is real. I'll show you the letter. Bro, listen to this. Wait, real quick. The witnesses came to my door, so I answered the door because I'm like really don't like organized religion. I don't want to piss anybody off here. I like the Bill Maher take. I'm sure someone hates him in here somewhere. So anyway, that's the way I am. So they come up to my door, and I answered the door right up to my door, and I go, "You guys, I'm the Antichrist. You came to the wrong joint." And you know they sold me. I'm not kidding you. I dug their rap. So I started.
Wait, what do they say that sold you?
Well, one of the things they say is they don't go to war.
You talk about Fox leading people, and you fell for the Jehovah's Witnesses rap?
That was good.
With a box of watchtowers.
That one's going to hurt.
That's good, though, bro.
Please, that one's going to hurt you a little bit.
I like it. That's a beautiful piece.
You don't believe in war, and you were over there for 3 fucking tours, right?
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah,
No, it's not. That's why. My tours in Vietnam are why. I don't even want to get into that.
Well,
look, I got
you were
such
talking
ugly
about
takes.
Afghanistan last night. You don't want any more of the boys going over there.
No, I don't want anybody.
And wants a lot of the guys to go over there.
No, I didn't say that. Holy fuck, I did not say
You want to
that.
send? What, you want to send our soldiers to die?
You want to
Anthony?
send 16
Hold on. All right.
Fuck you, man.
You want to send high school kids over there now?
That's
your
right.
thing?
I said as far as soldiers go, and as far as commanders go.
I can't wait.
You wanna go back to Iraq?
I said, when you listen to them, when they are given an order by their president, and you send them and give them every resource they need to finish the job, or you get them the fuck home.
Okay, hold on.
And get them out.
I heard a dude called a political talk show the other day, and my blood boils, and they talk about Vietnam. And they go, the same rap you just did, that's the bullshit they keep talking now. You give them all the stuff so we can finish it. Here's a bulletin for the dumb motherfuckers. There is no finishing it.
I understand that.
Alexander the Great till today, you can't beat that Afghani motherfuckers.
graveyard of
But don't leave it half-assed
But what are
sitting
you
in the middle of something.
But
then take them home. Then get them home.
It was half-assed when we got there.
Then assess the situation and go, we can't win this. Get everybody to the
And don't help them the next time somebody invades.
Right.
Dumb assholes we are. We should let the Russians do what they wanted.
But why do we never look like if this? What are we over there doing?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
we
his
don't
weed?
even.
Mind your business, black people. Anyway, fellas, what I'm trying to say.
keeping the world safe for democracy.
I don't get it, man. This the fuck.
Oh, but I heard this dude call up this political talk show about Vietnam.
Right.
Because a lot of guys say that. If we had what we need, and I went 3 times, if we had what we needed and finish it, what I wanted to pose the question, what was finished? They want to blow up the whole joint? That's what they're talking about. When they say finish any of these
already blown
wars,
up.
they mean blow up the whole kill every motherfucker there.
Well, here's what
That's
they mean.
ridiculous.
They mean
You can't-
place their
What?
guy there so they can have all the fucking resources.
There you go.
There's
Which
no
is
resources in that fucked up country.
there's some funky diamond over there that God put there.
Funky
All
diamond.
there is fucking heroin.
God put a lot of shit over there. Opium, exactly.
Let the conspiracy go.
That's right. How about the fact?
Let it fly now.
That's why they
the
fucking
government's selling heroin, everybody.
Wait a minute.
Babanya, baby.
That's why they hate fucking Chavez, man. Because he's a dictator that
Chavez.
says fuck you. They need people so they can go in there
I like to
and
see
keep the
his
shit.
fucking green card.
By the way, Patrice,
Yes.
he's a benevolent dictator. See, that's another word.
He loves his people.
He takes care of
He
the
loves his people.
And
That's why they fucking hate him.
And the cold people in Brooklyn, right? Didn't he buy the oil for people
He
around here
fucking
somewhere?
He loves his people because having him
he
is probably his
loves
son.
his people, and that's what they hate dictators who fucking are really for the people. That's why they hate Castro.
Yeah, they love
That
Hitler.
fucking
They
hate.
loved Hitler. Oh, did they love Hitler?
He's not for the people.
Shut up, he sure was.
He sure as hell
Did you
was.
see all the people come out at the rallies? Oh,
Certain people he wasn't for, but he was for.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to gang. In order to
you
unite
just
people, you
hit
got to
me-
gang them up against someone
You
else.
just hit me with a big ball of literal. You use Hitler. Hitler was not a man of the people. He just was
my
charismatic. But I'm just saying.
You just
Stalin,
used
the man of
Hitler
the
5
people.
minutes ago for your argument.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think every ideology has a benevolent point to it. I think communism has a
course it
great
does.
point to it. It's the
Of course it
people
does.
running it that fucks it up.
By the way, I got good news for everybody here. I don't know if you guys saw this. A couple weeks ago, I went to the movie theater, saw Brad Pitt and them cats killed a Hitler. I was proud as a mother.
Oh, my God,
They killed Hitler. He died. I didn't know he went down until I went to that flick.
They got him.
Inglorious Bastards. Norton, you didn't see that?
I did not. No, I like Tarantino a lot. I heard mixed reviews about it.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I think you dig it.
Are we ready for final statements here? Final statements.
All right.
Who wants to start?
Not all white people are bad.
I respect and appreciate Weeze's point of view.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you do.
No matter how stupid it is.
Thank you. Yeah, and I will come back with the fact that one of the luckiest men on the planet, Anthony, sitting over there, fucking stepped in a pile of shit named Opie.
This motherfucker, thank you. You fucking asshole. This is what kills me. His last callus on his fingers healed yesterday. He used to fucking fix refrigerators. And this cocksucker is Lord Barrington III. Like, you're an asshole.
I got mine, motherfucker. I got mine.
Wait, and even worse than that, I heard rumors that this lucky motherfucker goes to casinos. Take this. He doesn't want to pay for the poor people's health care, but he'll give Atlantic City $50,000, $100,000 because he's an idiot.
They employ a shitload of people, don't they?
That is true.
Yeah, but Trump got the money. Not those people.
Well, you know something? Trump employs some people, too.
right.
But let's tax the shit out of the people that employ people and keep unemployment at 10% or higher.
Wait, you had your final statement.
Yeah, you really did.
Sorry.
You really had your final statement.
My final statement is that
Colin,
Anthony,
yes.
whose dream 5 years ago was to someday work the walk-in freezers. Now he's got a fucking panzer tank in the back.
Fucking Colin. Yeah. Colin's giving you Caroline's what? Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, right, Colin?
Yeah.
Caroline's from Colin Quinn.
Where's Norton going to be?
Well, wait, he's got his final statement. Now. We're doing final statement.
Well, yeah, that's a good question, though. November 25th, I'll be at the Stress Factory the night before Thanksgiving. Excellent question, Wease, that you posed.
Thank you.
Here's where the liberals lose
Everybody's
me.
mind.
Oh, we got
The liberals don't lose me on the ideology.
Oh, they don't lose you.
You don't lose me on your beliefs. Some I'm with, some I'm not. I'm for gay marriage. For most of them, I'm pretty socially liberal.
Gay marriage.
I know. Well,
Can you imagine?
But the liberals lose me on the language policing they do and the fucking arrogance. They think everybody else is a lead sheep, and they are these brilliant intellectual thinkers who see it for what it really is. And that arrogance, they are exactly what they hated in the 60s and before. So that's my problem with the liberals.
November 24th. Can I respond? Because I was
Sure, go ahead.
But this is what freaks me out, my brother Norm. First of all, I think you're the smartest guy in the room. Not that anybody gives a shit.
Thank
what
you.
I
I
think.
wholeheartedly agree with you.
Not that anybody cares. But this
He's
is
gonna
what
be
killed-
dead in 2012 like everybody else. So fuck the smartest guy in the fucking room. He's gonna be laying right under the rape picture of the Statue of Liberty like everybody else with a dress up.
But the deal is, with people, you see, the liberalism that's in my heart is, forget this snottiness. I know that, I mean, if you don't think that down there where they fly the Confederate flag, if you don't think there's a whole bunch, if you go to the dumb places where comedians make fun of, just played Alabama, they didn't get the joke, that crap. If you go down there, I'd say that you're going to be pissed at me, but I'd say that most of them were conservative followers.
A lot of
I
them
don't think
were,
you're
yeah.
going to find many liberals in these places, and I wouldn't be that proud of that. But the thing is, when Rush Limbaugh tells his listeners all the time, think for yourselves, you know, he's always going, they think that you're too dumb. Well, you know what I really believe? I really do believe people are too dumb. And I know that you know it too.
I
Look at this
actually don't
country.
know that. I really don't.
Are you shitting
Wease,
me?
I really don't, because as a guy
you're not
who
that
watches
smart,
Fox, who doesn't,
Forget Fox. I'm not even
or
talking
any of that
about
stuff
that.
I would be considered a follower for.
I'm not
I know
even-
I form my own opinions.
I'm not
So I
referring
don't-
to any of that.
I don't buy the whole. There are some dummies, sure, but there's also dummies in college campuses all over this fucking country listening to
But
their
they're
professors.
smarter. They're smarter, though, bro.
But
they got to be a little smarter.
Not by much. The same ones that wouldn't protest Ahmadinejad, who did protest when the Minutemen went to speak. They started a riot when the Minutemen went to speak at Columbia University, and Ahmadinejad was welcomed with open arms until the fucking whatever the fuck the head of Columbia was really devastated and humiliated him, which I respected.
Yeah,
but
that's
there's something
a good
about the students. They're fucking sheep.
But it freaks me out that conservatives that I meet that go, the only reason I'm conservative is that tax thing. Wait, what a smokescreen! I believe that if you're socially liberal, that you should be a goddamn liberal, because that's what they're fighting the war about. I'm fighting for the fags to get married. Sorry about that word. I'm fighting for gay marriage, and it was the liberals once again that made black people couldn't even marry white broads legally until That's the truth.
Yeah, thank you for nothing, liberals.
They still don't marry you.
But anyway,
just leave with a couple of Baracks and then
Exactly.
move on.
And Jim,
They just ruined their relationships with their dads.
Jim, do with a couple of Lenny Kravitzes and they bust on.
do not the conservatives use the gay marriage and abortion as their biggest issue when elections come up?
Yeah, of course.
That's what they use. So you're probably on the right side of that issue, yet you'll stick with them.
We got to
Abortion,
wrap
I'm in the
up.
middle.
Where you going?
What's the website to listen to you online?
I'm not going to tell.
Wease.com.
I'm not telling.
Wease.com,
I
right?
don't want to tell people that.
Wease.com?
We're on the same time you are.
We got replays. Who gives a shit?
Wease at CanadianHealthcare.com.
It's Wease.com if you want to listen to this show online. Patrice is going to
Where
be...
the fuck is he going?
Call of Duty.
By the way, my show's not political at all. None.
Shit to do.
Where's he going?
Where you going?
So you got to shoot somebody?
Huh?
Shoot somebody?
Where are you going to count your
Let
money?
me tell you something. He said the truth the first time he said talk.
He just doesn't want the uncomfortableness when the mics are off. The awkward.
He's going to play Call of Duty. You're right.
All right, listen. Patrice is going to be at Bananas Hasbrook Heights, right?
Yes.
Tonight and tomorrow?
Yes.
Everyone got their final statements in?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here then.
Go business.
Well, there was one thing.
No.